And it's crazy because, he was supposed to be having an arranged marriage.
How do you tell your parents that you want to get married to somebody, a different culture, person, this and that?
They didn't know about me. So we kept our relationship a secret, which we thought was a secret, for a whole year.
I think my biggest mistake ever was keeping our relationship a secret for so long.
Yeah, and reputation for Indian culture and parents and then all that stuff was huge. So in general, in America, they don't, they're not going to stay with you forever and this and that, make sure they're not after your money.
Like, me being white and him being Indian, first of all. Mm-hmm. But I think it has a lot to do with his putka.
Oh my God, if I change my style just because, to make other people happy,
Yeah, you'd never do that. That's not. Yeah, don't
That's
make
not
other
who I am.
The number one comment was like, I didn't expect his accent, right?
Yeah.
That was the first thing I did was show Hallie. I was like, Hallie, you got to watch this. This is the funniest thing I've ever seen. This is a Southern Indian.
People are mean on Instagram.
She is more Indian than I do. Let's just put it that way. I don't do spicy and I don't do Indian like that.
He's more American. So he never really taught me anything about the culture, about the language.
I've never related to anything more in my life.
I guess that's when he realized, I really don't want to have this arranged marriage.
This week, we have some incredibly special guests, Brook and Harjot. They're married just like us. They're an interracial couple and they make content online. It's super fun, super creative, and we're going to have an amazing conversation with them today. So, Half Past Crew, let's get into it. Welcome to
Half Past Chai.
Guys, welcome back to another episode of Half Past Chai. We're your hosts. My name is K2.
My name is Hallie.
And if you don't already know, we're a married interracial couple. And that's what we talk about on this podcast. We talk about being an interracial couple. We talk about relationships. And we get questions from you because you guys go to www.halfpastchai.com where you submit your questions and stories. We release new podcast episodes every Monday at 7 a.m. So if you haven't already, make sure you subscribe, like this video. And if you're on Spotify or Apple Podcasts, you need to go follow the pod and give us 5 stars because that makes the algorithm go up. And then a lot of people are going to watch the podcast. And that's what we want to see. So Half Past Crew, we love you. We thank you for supporting us on this fantastic Monday. Settle in, get cozy, and grab your cha. That's the intro, guys.
That's pretty cool.
I like that.
That's it. Well, we have Brook and Harjot here. Guys, thank you for being on the pod.
Yay.
You guys really
us.
do live in the middle of nowhere. It took us a while to get here. I think from Indiana, it's right around 12 hours.
Probably,
Wow, really?
So yeah, it's about 12 hours.
Oh my
But
gosh.
before we get into anything, you guys are married. You make content on TikTok. What made you start making content on TikTok? Why'd you do it?
I just did it for fun, honestly. I never thought that it was going to blow up or anything. It was just, I would pull some pranks on him, or I would just make videos of my kids. And just one day, one of them went viral. And, you get that high.
Mm-hmm.
And it's let's just go with it. Let's just start making more.
What was the video?
We were in a restaurant and I told the waitress to take his food from him. It was a viral trend going on at the time. So I told her to take his food while he was eating it still. And his reaction was so funny. So the video just blew up.
The first thing I ever saw from you guys was the money video where you gave him $100.
That one blew up too.
The number one comment was I didn't expect his accent, right?
Yeah.
That was the first thing I did was show Hallie. I was like, Hallie, you got to watch this. This is the funniest thing I've ever seen. This is a Southern Indian. This is insane.
Yeah, I remember everybody's comment was that.
So that was your first moment of virality. When did you guys first start posting on TikTok, or when did you create your account?
I created my account when it was still Musically.
No way.
Yeah, back in the day. But I didn't post anything. I can't remember when I started posting. It was probably right around the 2019 when my daughter was born. Mm-hmm. I was just making memories. I would make videos of her, and it was just here and there once in a while. It wasn't nothing I wasn't trying to go viral. I wasn't trying to, get famous or anything like that. I was just doing it for fun.
Yeah, and then you just started accumulating your following. When is that first video? When did it go viral?
So that was in the beginning of 2025 is when.
Just this year?
Yeah.
So how many followers did you have before that video?
Maybe 1,000 or less.
800-900 maybe.
Yeah, it wasn't much.
See, this is what I'm trying to talk about. I think I mentioned this, your guys' trajectory is much faster than you could ever imagine. There's a reason that people are watching you. And it's because you guys are funny, first of all.
Oh, yeah.
Harjot's got this, I don't want to be in this video kind of mentality.
Yeah, definitely. Shoot me now.
Yeah, for real. Like that's what I see.
Sweating over here already.
And that's funny. I think it's really funny because usually for us, I've always been the one trying to get Hallie to make videos with me. If you go back to like 2019 when I was doing like these vlogs, Hallie hated being in the videos and she would just be in the back. And it reminded me a lot of you because you're just like, you're just there.
I'm just there. I'm just here. Whatever the wife says, I just do.
Like you would be this character, right? Yeah. And especially back in that time because so many people were vlogging on YouTube. Like if you remember Casey Neistat, he did a vlog every single day for, was it 1 year or 2?
Yeah. He did it. He did a vlog every single day for like 2 years straight.
And you were vlogging 2 times a week?
2 times
right?
a week.
And putting out videos all the time. And we were in college together at the time. And so we spent a ton of our time together. And he would just be vlogging and put the camera in my face and I'd freeze up and I didn't know what to do, which is so funny because now it's obviously very different, but it took me so much time. So I think eventually what I'm trying to say is you're going to get there where you're going to love being in her videos so much and you're going to be posting so much on your own TikTok.
Hopefully. We'll see. We'll see how that goes.
I made videos for so long, but nothing ever like was successful in a way. And then Hallie came in and then we started making these interracial couple type content. And it started blowing up. A lot of people out there are just like us. So I want to know, like, what do you think makes you guys so eye-catching online? Why do you think?
My personal opinion is, me being white and him being Indian, first of all. Mm-hmm. But I think it has a lot to do with his putka. Like, people want to talk about that a lot.
That's what I was about to say. That's what they want to talk about right now is
is that your like number one thing right now?
Still? I think
like
so.
People comment that all the time. On
it makes you different. Right?
Yeah.
It makes you different. It makes you stand out.
I said, will anybody recognize us if you switch it to a parna or a turban?
Yeah, I was like, I should probably practice doing the parna for this podcast. And I was like, if I do that, they're going to recognize that. Because everybody, when I go out or, if, around here, the area, local, anywhere, they recognize me because, the way I wear my bukta, turban now. So I was like, if I change my style, they're going to recognize me for, right now they're like, they'll come running up and say, are you guys this person or that person? Because they know.
Are you on TikTok? And we're like,
everywhere we go in Greensboro or Winston or the beach, the big cities, they all come running up to, are you guys this couple from TikTok? And it's like, yeah, but like, if I change my style, just because, to make other people happy,
Yeah, you'd never do that. That's not, don't
make
other people. Isn't it crazy, like, when you're just out in public and then people recognize you just by your face? Like, you wouldn't expect that.
It's pretty cool. That, like, motivates us so much. Like, we'll, like, after that, we're like, let's go make a video right now. Like, it just gives you this motivation to want to make videos. When people see you in public and they're so nice and they want to get pictures, it just makes you feel really good.
Well, it's like when you said, too, when you start going viral, you're like, oh, it feels so good. I want to keep doing that. When you meet people that really like the stuff you make, you're like, oh my gosh, well, I want to keep building that and growing that and making the people that like my stuff happy. Like, we got to keep making stuff.
Yeah. And another thing, too, is when we first got together, I wasn't really on social media. I didn't like watch at all. So like to me at the time, I didn't know there were any other couples besides like his brother that were in interracial relationships.
Yeah.
And you feel like you're the only one and you're alone. So when we make these videos, it's like I've met so many people online that are in these relationships and it's awesome. It makes you feel good and you can like relate and you just find a lot of friends on there.
That's exactly how we feel.
1,000%.
That's why we have this this message board thing, and that's where you submitted, right?
Yeah,
you submitted a thing saying, "Hey, we would love to be on your podcast," and I was so happy you sent that because then we love meeting couples like us, and it just like sparked this new motivation in me to be like, okay, we need to like meet more people, not just couples out there, but like in general, all these different people that want to either incorporate Half Past Shy into their life or whatever it is. But it's been so nice to actually see that and see like-minded people that look like us. That's insane. How did you two meet then? Like, because this is a question that we always get. It's like, how did you guys meet? Like, how did you convince your parents? A lot of questions.
Yeah.
But I want to know first, how did you meet?
So back in 2007, we actually came up for my cousin was getting married in Burlington. So we actually came up for her wedding. And the same time we were looking for like a business. My dad was in the restaurant business his whole life. So he wanted to get away from working for other people, own his own business. And most of our family was in North Carolina already. So we decided to, when we came here for the wedding, we were looking for different businesses, and we ended up actually coming down here to the county we're in now to look at a convenience store and gas station that we was going to get into. And I actually just ended up working out, and we bought that store, and I started high school here. I actually just finished my 9th grade year in New York, where I moved from. And but that's where I met Brooke, was in high school down here, and we've been in high school and was close, good friends in high school.
So we were friends all throughout high school, from the 10th grade to the 12th grade. And then after we graduated, we would see each other here and there because he owned the store like in our county still. So I would stop by there. We would see each other. We were still friends, but we didn't hang out, And it was about, 11, 12, 13. So it was about 3 years after we graduated. I was working at a convenience store like in our county, and I was going to college. And he ended up showing up that day at the store, and like, I'm buying the store, And so we just kind of like reconnected, and we were, I was helping him out at the store because, like I was telling you earlier, a lot of people just up and quit because he was taking over the store, this Indian, because we're like in this very small town. So he asked me to help him out because I was getting ready to quit. I was about to put my 2 weeks notice in with my old boss because I was going to a credit union to start working. And he asked me, him and his dad both asked me if I could stay and just help out a little bit. And I was like, yeah, sure, I can do that. We were friends. And we just, working together, like from morning to night, like we were just hanging out at the store, and we just, it just started this thing. And it's crazy because, he was supposed to be having an arranged marriage. And
What?
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, so the arranged marriage thing kind of started in 2013.
the year before
How old were you?
What was I? I was born in 93, so whatever. But I don't know. 20?
About 20?
20, yeah, I was 20.
20 years old and you're already getting arranged marriage? Dang. So then that, like, you were like, okay, so you were starting to get some forms to you, like, okay, this is a girl and this is a girl.
Yep.
All right. Well, and I want to know, like, in that position, you liked Brooke, or were you dating?
He did this was before.
So
Okay.
I was, I'm trying to think where to start at here.
What made you commit to this arranged marriage?
So the convenience store that I first took over for, my first business on my own, and then my dad helped me get involved with the first one, was in March 2014. But in 2013, before me and Brooke even reconnected, we was already, my parents, was already looking for, a person, to be arranged to, in India. And, of course, you know how it is back there. Yeah. They have family back home, and they're always looking, and you'll get their
that bio
on, they get their bio on WhatsApp and different pictures, and I'm like, dang, what is this? Matchmaking.
But he never really wanted to have an arranged marriage, really. But his dad agreed that he would help him get into his first store if he had an arranged marriage. Yep. So that was kind of like what he was like, well, I really want this store, so I'm just going to do what my parents want me to do, And
then, the plan was always, when you're growing up like in a Indian, Punjabi family, the plan's always, I know the culture's changing now in the new days, but then it was like, that you was going to get arranged to somebody sooner or later, like our parents was, or most parents was. And I was like, okay, I'll do this. So in 2013, I actually went to India twice. The first time, it was me, my dad, and, our family there. And, we went, to families and met different people. And, there was one they liked, and, it worked out. And I guess, I didn't know the person, but you have one meet and you go to a room, talk for a minute, then you just say yes or no, not to disappoint your parents. You're like, sure, I'm going to do this, So all that happens. We have, they throw the big engagement party thing in India the same time I'm there the week. We're only there for like a week, 7-10 days at most. So all that happens in 2013 towards the end.
Before we reconnected.
Before we even reconnected yet. And, the store was under contract when I went to India the second time that I'm taking over in March. And I think it was the end of 2013, December, January. Me and my mom went back to India for a week for like different kind of ceremonies in India and all that kind of shopping stuff. Yep. And Yeah, that happened in
So
India.
then the following March is when he took over the store. And by May, like, I guess, okay, so he took over in March, and that's when we was like working together. It wasn't nothing romantic at that time, but like, you know, when you start working together and you're together every single day, you know, something started to spark. And I guess that's when he realized, like, you know, I really don't want to have this arranged marriage. Like, you know.
Yeah, I didn't want to be that person that, you know, that was dishonest, but, you know, because I just knew this person by meeting him literally twice in my life. And, you know, talking to him over the phone, you know, we talked back and forth over the phone, but, you know, different time. You know, India, you know, here was difficult, you know, talk and all that stuff. And I don't know, back when I met Brooke and we started, you know, hanging out, talking, and I don't know, I guess our little love story started there. And I just said I didn't want to be disloyal to the other person, so I pretty much was telling my parents, you know, I'm not going through with this India stuff.
But they didn't know about me then, right?
No, they didn't know about her.
Because
still.
like, so he took over in March, and then in May is when we were kind of like, to us, we were official. Like, you know, we were like, we want to start dating, right? So that's when he tells his mom and dad, like, I don't want to do this. But they didn't know about me. So we kept our relationship a secret, which we thought was a secret, for a whole year.
Yeah.
We told like our closest friends, and his brother knew because his middle brother.
We're close, my brother.
You gotta be careful because you're also in a small town. So it's like,
Yeah.
what do you trust?
So I'm sure
friends.
people knew, like looking back at it now, like it was very obvious, you know. But we kept our relationship a secret for a whole year. And another reason we kept it a secret is because it was like I was like screwing the boss. And people were like laugh like with that, you know.
And a lot of people, you know, I think a lot of the employees at that time knew, and they would always say stuff, make comments on
Like they were jealous, like
because we were connected and close, and
like she might be getting special treatment at work or something like that, you know.
Yeah.
When you ended up telling your parents, like, hey, I don't want to do this, did you say, like, I don't want to do this because I found someone else, or did you just say, I don't want to do this?
So March is when I took over the store. Me and her got more serious. And I think right after, I think a few, you know, we still didn't say anything for a few months, but I started saying, you know, I started avoiding the question about like, you know, because, you know, after you get officially, you know, engaged there, you know, you start your application and paperwork to bring the person here, because the plan was to always do the big wedding here because all our family is here in the, you know, in the U.S. And, but no, I said, I think I just told them, and it was just a big thing for, I don't know. So me and her got married in 2019, but between 2014 to 2019, I think, you know, I didn't really talk, you know, I'm not saying I wasn't close to my mom and dad, but we really didn't talk much anymore because the whole, you know, arranged thing. But I was stuck in that whole Indian arranged thing from 2013 to probably 2018-ish.
Yeah.
Until I was officially finally out of it, because it was a complicated situation with who the people were in India and all that too. Because they were like, you know, they weren't just like, you know, they were more involved in politics and all that. So it was more of a headache thing on that side.
I think his family thought like that
I would eventually come back.
Yeah.
You know, I had all kind of uncles, cousins, family members calling and contacting me and saying, you know, you're making a mistake. You know, people from around here. Or, you know, just in general in America, you know, they don't, you know, they're not going to stay with you forever and this and that, you know, make sure they're not after your money. They're not, you know, I don't have that much, nothing, you know, you just got a business and think you have plenty of money, you know what I'm trying to say? And I was like, no, you know, I actually care about this person, you know, she cares about me a lot, and I'm just not going through this, you know, India relationship anymore. So, but that lasted years, and it really put a dent into my parents and our, you know, my relationship. For
I don't think you guys talked for like 2 years, wasn't it?
I didn't talk for a long time. You know, I would still come around their businesses, help in the night, during the day. And, you know, we talked occasionally. You know, moms are going to be moms. You know, they're always going to be there for their kid. But me and my dad didn't talk for a while. And it killed me at that, because they always killed me. You know, we were always a close, tight family until the whole India situation happened.
It was a problem because, you know, he went back on his word. He already followed through with it. Then he went back on his word, and he made him look bad, you know?
And reputation for Indian culture and parents and then all that stuff was huge. So,
yeah, I feel like my parents and I went through the exact same thing, because they were more so about the education piece rather than the arranged marriage piece. I think if I waited long enough, they would also like go the arranged marriage part. But like when I was in college, when I was in high school, me and Hallie started dating.
Yeah.
I went to college and Hallie was still in high school. So we're only 1 year apart. So she was in 12th grade and I was in first year of college. And then we ended up breaking up during that period because my parents were like, you don't like that. This isn't how we do it. Like, this isn't what you do. Like, she's not like, you got to focus on your education. She's white. She doesn't know our culture. She doesn't know anything about what we're doing. And then during that, like, I was mad at my parents. Like, I didn't tell them anything. So I just lied all the time. Where are you? I'm at my friend's house. Where, like, everything, like every single thing was a lie that I said. Like, if I'm in college, right, then I'm going to be in college from 8 a.m. to 10 p.m. But actually, I leave campus at like lunchtime and I'll go to Hallie's house. Right? So it's like,
I know how that was.
It's kind of like, I see this like with a lot of interracial relationships because you just kind of end up lying, and then you tell the truth, and then all of a sudden the relationship goes back to where it was when you ended the relationship, or it got like tough. Right?
Yeah.
A year after you were like, no, I'm not doing this. Then is that when you introduced her for the first time?
No, so what actually happened in that situation was my dad showed up to the store one night, just checking in, just coming by. I don't know if he just wanted to see me or what, but we was already in an iffy spot then because they already knew I didn't want to do the India thing. And, and they actually, Brooke was in my office and she was actually just behind my chair, sitting on my lap, and we were just talking, laughing, just doing some stuff on the computer.
It wasn't nothing like sexual or nothing.
Yeah, it was nothing bad. We were just sitting there. And my dad walks in.
Randomly.
Just randomly walks in, says some words, shut the door, and walked back out.
Oh my gosh, what are the odds that he comes in?
I know.
So that's when they actually found out, and as he came back home and told my mom and my brothers,
Oh,
which they already knew me. Like they met me in high school when we were friends. I'd come to the store and talk to them.
But I personally never thought I would want to, that I was going to spend the rest of my life with somebody, that was an Indian until when I actually got really close with Brooke and decided, this is what I'm going to do. And, I love this lady and we're just, we're going to go this route, Yeah.
And there was a time too when like I felt really bad I felt like I broke his family up, and I tried to break up with him. I was like, I just can't do this because I just don't want to put you through this and your family, Yeah. And he wouldn't accept it. He was like, no, I've already sacrificed this much.
I didn't sacrifice, my family and fighting through all this for this not to work out. And my dad is 5 brothers, 2 sisters, and out of all the family members, I'm the first one to break the arranged marriage thing. Like, my dad's the youngest out of all, his brothers and sisters. So I was the first one to break the culture and to get married to a white, different kind of person than anybody in my family. So, but since then, my brother got married, to somebody,
she's white,
she's white, and other people are dating people, and the family's opened up a lot more that they don't mind, who you get married. They just want somebody to be happy now.
I think they didn't think it would work out, which that's fine. But now that they see that it has worked out and that like I'm actually willing to like learn the culture and,
the holidays, the suits, the parties, the food,
the respect
and, teaching the kids, she's not like, that's just, here to be a user or, to just, not learn anything and be involved in the culture and stuff.
Yeah. So once they seen that, they're like, I think that helped the whole family, honestly.
I feel like I'm looking in the mirror right now because we ran into the same situation of like, my mom just did not want to deal with the fact like, oh my gosh, he is going to be with a white girl.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And once she met Hallie, it was a whole, like once she actually got to know her, it's not just meeting her.
Yeah.
It's like,
it is that understanding and like the willingness to be a part of things and to celebrate who they represent and the culture and everything.
The first time that Hallie ever, I think my mom actually saw Hallie as who she was I was getting my wisdom teeth out, and I was like, I'm not going to get my wisdom teeth out unless Hallie comes. And at this point, she knew that we were dating. She just didn't like it.
Yeah.
Okay. And Hallie comes over. This is at like 6 a.m. My appointment's at 7 a.m. We all drive to this place together. I go in the back, and it's just Hallie and my mom in the waiting room.
So you had to be nervous.
I'll never forget it. I was so scared.
You had to be nervous.
I was back there worrying. I couldn't worry that much because I was put under anesthesia in 2 seconds. But then when I came out, Hallie ended up like taking care of me more than my mom. So like she was picking up my throw up that I was like doing everything with blood
As he
everywhere.
was like projectile vomiting on the floor. Yeah, that was me.
I think my mom saw that and was like, wow, she actually like really cares. And once she saw that, everything changed. She was inviting her over all the time. My parents
for dinners. Oh my gosh, that was one of the big things too when I really started taking an interest in Indian food and being like, "Ooh, what's this? What's that? I want to try this." And then she was like, "Oh, okay, let me make this for you and try it. And you can come over." Yeah, it's awesome.
It was interesting for sure. So I guess whenever you started to be like, okay, you guys get caught, it's almost like getting caught doing something bad.
I know.
It's like what's worse? Like
we still talk about that to this day. Like, you remember that time my dad walked in? I was like, dang,
that must have been traumatic. Like, you guys probably just looked at each other and were like, what do we even do now?
I know, like jumped off his lap.
Yeah,
like.
she just jumped off my lap and just stood there. And
oh my God.
I was like, oh, shoot.
Okay, so after that happened, then you guys obviously had to talk to the families, right? How did that go?
I can't remember. I mean, I wasn't a part of it at that time.
Did you ever get interviewed by the family?
Did I? I don't think I did.
No, it was just, she's always been a close friend to the family.
Yeah.
I feel like that definitely helped because they already knew you, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, they knew, her, in and out of the stores in high school and us being friends through high school and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
What about your parents?
My parents, honestly, they were, as long as I'm happy, they were happy. They had some concerns because they, just like me, they didn't know anything about Indians or his culture or anything, Mm-hmm. So, they were concerned a little bit, just making sure that I understood everything that like I was getting myself into. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But once they met him, obviously they loved him, So it wasn't, it's not as bad as like Indian families.
It's definitely more strict on our end. The reason I asked that is because Hallie's parents were super welcoming for sure, 100%.
Yeah.
But my parents wanted to meet Hallie's parents, and that was
I still remember that so well.
A traumatic experience, just because. I mean, for me, it wasn't bad because I was just sitting there. Everything went well, but it was Hallie's parents. And then every single member of my family, I have a huge family. I have 3 older sisters, right?
They brought the whole
So
family.
we got the brother-in-laws. We got the brother-in-laws. I still have a video of this. I'll show it to you later. But we got the brother-in-laws. We got my sisters. We got my parents. We got the parents of my brother-in-laws. All there. And then 2 chairs. And they're sitting in the front of the room. And everyone's just grilling them with questions.
So it's like us sitting here. And then everyone's just kind of around there. And my parents are like, hi, everybody.
And this is like when we announced that we were dating. This isn't even an engagement. This is just, we're dating. This is going to be a thing. And we're most likely going to get married in the future.
Well, what's crazy is I think it happened was it before or after you took me to Canada to meet your grandparents?
This is before Canada, for sure.
That's a crazy move too. Yeah. That you took me to meet more of your family as your girlfriend. That's even crazier. But yeah, I remember that so well. It's ingrained in my brain. I don't think I can ever forget it because I have a video and it pops up on my feed every so often of like, oh, look what was happening. I think it was 6 years ago, which is even crazier. It wasn't that long ago. And we've been together since 2015. So yeah, that's just interesting that you asked that, but I guess it's good that you haven't been interviewed,
right? That would have been scary.
Fast forward a little bit. When did you guys get married?
We got married in 2019. Okay. That was like a little bit before that is when, they started to accept us. Like, we told them, we said, we want to do the marriage the right way, the way that you want us to. But, if you can't accept us, then we're just going to get married anyways. Like, we were 26 almost. We were ready to get married. We were ready to have kids. And I think his mom and dad finally realized that we were going to be together. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So that's when they was like, okay, then let's do the Indian wedding. So we got married in February of 2019. And then like shortly after we had our daughter, because that's what we were ready for. Mm-hmm. We were ready for that.
So you guys had a big Indian wedding?
Oh, yeah.
Or did you have different kinds of ceremonies or like, because I'm Christian and he's Hindu. So we had technically 3 days of like back to back to back stuff.
Right. Mm-hmm. So we just did the Indian wedding. It wasn't really that important how we got married, like to me. Like I just wanted to be married to him, So we did like the Indian wedding. We had like one night, like the Jago night. And then we had, which is like the day before we had our wedding. And then usually they separated into more days, but we combined our wedding day. Yeah, our wedding with our reception. So we had the wedding in the morning and then we had our reception that night. Oh. So it was like 2 days worth, but it felt like a week.
That
Yeah.
was exhausting. We were late to our own wedding for 2 hours. So
Yes, 2 hours late for both wedding and reception.
Yeah.
Indian Standard Time is like a thing. Like you're going to be late no matter what.
Yep.
Yeah.
And that's just what we operate as now at this point. We're always late to everything.
I
That's
feel
why-
like we were definitely late to our wedding as well. We're late to, I didn't used to be late. I feel like that's a Suketu
Okay,
effect.
the plan today was to get here at 11 a.m. We got here at 1:30,
126.
1:26.
I know, sorry
So
about that.
we're always late now at this point. So I try to deal with it.
Yeah, we're used to it. Indian time.
Yeah, I'm never late. I try not to be.
So you guys had a beautiful wedding. I've seen some of the pictures because you posted some not that long ago on your
Yeah.
TikTok and they were gorgeous. One question I have to ask before we kind of move on to children. Did you buy your clothing here or from India?
You know, his mom took care of everything. Like I had no idea. Like I still didn't understand a lot of the culture because he's more American. So he never really taught me anything about the culture, about the
I've
language.
never related to anything more in my life.
So his mom bought everything. So it just showed up to me. I put it on and I just, they told me what to do. They told me, so watch some YouTube videos.
That's so fun.
Yeah.
And we went with it.
We had like a Christian wedding, right? So Hallie and her mom planned the whole thing. So we knew exactly what to expect. And then usually Indian wedding, your family plans it. You don't know anything that's going on.
Yeah.
So when we walked in, we were so like free. Like we were just like having a great day.
Happy
And
to be there.
We just kind of followed instructions. I love it. It's so easy. Like I think I like that way more than having to stress about, okay, we got to go like do this now. Okay, the photographer is getting us. And now at this time at exactly, we need to make sure we cut the cake. None of that. In the
Right.
Indian wedding. Like everything's just like go with the flow.
Yep.
Yeah, the Christian wedding was almost too structured, and then like it was a free for all at the Hindu wedding. And ceremony was pretty structured, but reception, we just walked in. We're like, all right, this party's for us. It was great. But we talk about this all the time because this is one thing. Like you too, I didn't understand the culture and the celebrations and the ceremonies that much at the time that we got married, and I would have done. I won't say so many things different, but I think back to it now, and it's like, gosh, I wish I would have like done this or like understood this better or like knew some Gujarati going into like I didn't know and I didn't understand, and so I
Right.
think about that a lot.
Yeah, I think we also hired a pundit, like the priest, and they said that they knew English, which they did, but they weren't like explaining everything in English, and so that was kind of tough. I was like whispering to Hallie, I was like, okay, he's saying this, he's saying that.
I know.
And sometimes I forgot to say what. So Hallie's just sitting there like, okay, I don't know.
I looked
what's
lost. I'm
going
like,
on.
what?
But it was a good, I mean, I'm glad we did both things just because then we got to experience, my family had never been to a normal American wedding. So it was
Right.
like cool to see that. And then her family had never seen an Indian wedding, which was so cool to show like our culture to a whole new demographic of people who have never, not saying in a bad way, but never left like the state of Indiana.
Mhm.
Right.
And so it's like, it was cool to experience that as well.
We get questions all the time saying my parents don't accept my significant other, whether they're Indian American or like even within India, like North Indian, South Indian, Gujarati, like they don't accept. So what advice do you have to couples out there who struggle to have their parents accept their significant other?
If you're an Indian and you want your Indian parents to accept your partner, you know, I would say have your partner, you know, embrace the culture, show, you know, his parents that they're willing to learn.
I get it. I think what you're saying is like try and actually learn the culture so then they know like, hey, I'm not here just for fun. Like I'm here to
Right.
actually understand what's going on.
Yeah, because Indians' culture, that's really important to them. And I think that's a big reason why they want their partner to, you know, I mean, their kid, that's why they want their kid to marry someone in the same culture and religion.
Yeah.
Yeah, because, you know, they're always worried, you know, when, you know, like the future, you know, like it's a daughter-in-law's going to be able to carry on for the, you know, the ceremonies, the holidays, the, you know, family stuff. Because you know how it is in the Indian culture, you know, every birthday you have, you take, you know, gifts and, you know, when they come to the house, somebody new, you get money and gifts.
Yeah.
And, you know, I think they're just worried that if something happens to them or they're long gone, you know, is somebody going to be able to carry that torch to the next and teach, you know, our kids and, you know, and then
They don't want their like culture to like die off.
Yeah, culture to die down.
That makes sense. And also another thing that I didn't do very well, but I think you did very well is you stood on business. Like
Yeah.
You actually were like, hey, this is the person and I'm going to marry her. And so if you're going to be here to support, great. If you're not, then we'll just do it anyways.
Well,
That is something that I think a lot of Indian guys and Indian girls, they struggle with it.
yeah, I think they get, not saying they get scared, but it's, something different. They don't want to lose that support of their parents and stuff. And I was like, if I don't break this, I was doing it for myself, obviously, but if I wanted to do it for the rest of the family to open up too, though, if they were wanting to get married to a white person, black person, Mexican, any kind of different people, they should be able to go, marry them if they love them and care about each other. It shouldn't be about race and, if they know something or not. So
exactly. I love that.
Yeah. That was a great answer. I think a lot of people really benefit from that because every single day we get new stories and questions from people about their own unique situation, and it's so heartbreaking, really, because your family are, you think that you can just be open and honest where they should be accepting, and not everybody's parents are like that. So speaking of culture and lineage, you guys have 3 beautiful children.
Yeah,
I have a question about just like, was it ever in question about how you guys would raise them, or do people ask you that, or like, was that a conversation you guys had of like culture wise, how you want to blend that? And I don't know, walk me through it.
I don't think we ever really talked about it. The thing we did talk about was that, he definitely wanted their names to be, the Punjabi, but have Punjabi
definitely
names.
wanted them to have Indian names, something unique and different. We talked about,
and
I think Brooks about that too. She didn't want a simple names, just Mary or John or whatever they got.
Which there's nothing wrong with those names.
There's nothing wrong with those names.
I like different names,
something unique.
I wanted something different, but I wanted something like simple that way because we are in a small town, and even in America, we want names that's not going to be like butchered, because I see his name butchered all the time at the stores. Like people calling him Hard Rock,
Hard Rock, or Hard something, or Hard Rock, or
just like crazy stuff. Exactly. So I just wanted the kids to grow up with like having Indian names, but having something more simple. But other than that, we didn't really talk about how we would raise them. I mean, I knew that they was going to learn like all the Indian stuff, and like I guess this was kind of something we knew, like that they was going to just know everything and celebrate all the holidays, both cultures.
It's beautiful.
I think people think so hard into it, like they just can't like grasp the fact that they like you don't even think that hard, right? Like it just happens.
Yeah.
Right? And I talk to Hallie about this all the time. It's not even about being 2 different religion. Like a lot of times interfaith couples like have people can't grasp that fact either sometimes. And so something that we get a lot of questions about, okay, what about morals? Like how are you going to teach them? And it's like completely different. It's really not.
No, it's
not. It's
not.
like very similar. Like, be a good person. Make sure you respect each other. You got to make sure that if something bad happens, you don't act out of violence. Do the normal things that are in almost every religious literature of any kind. And so I think whenever I see that question, I'm just like, okay, this guy, they're just so in their own bubble that they've never experienced any other culture in their life. Mm-hmm. And so that's what I always try and say when anybody comes up to us, like, how are you going to raise your kids? Well,
oh my gosh,
just like everybody else. Like,
yeah.
There's nothing different about it.
Yeah.
I just ask because, again, that's something that people ask us all the time. How are you going to raise your kids? How are you going to raise your kids? And I know, like, some people do it out of, like, well, how are you, like, out of spite, like, because they can't grasp it. And then there's people who genuinely, like, really can't understand it. Like, okay, well, I want to be with this person who's not within my culture and we are different. So like, how do we raise kids? And really, if you love the person, you can make it work, just like you can make your relationship work in the first place, definitely. Right?
We already talked a little bit about the social media piece in terms of what you guys are doing. Like, where do you want it to go? What's the future of your guys' channel, or what do you want to do? Like, what's the goal? What's the vision?
I don't really have like a clear vision. I want to grow my following. I think it would be awesome to see like 1 million.
Yeah.
I think that would be awesome. But, honestly, it's just more about like having fun and making fun videos and making people laugh and, stuff like that.
Is it more about, I guess, something to do with like the direction of what you want to do is like making people laugh, but also sharing your life to everyone? Is that something that you are like scared of? Is it something that you're excited about? Like what's that about? It's
a little bit both for me. I like sharing our story in a way, but then like I get scared to share too much, Do
you feel like it's helped a lot of people when you do share your guys' culture together?
It really has. I have people reaching out to me all the time, telling me, thank you so much. I love watching your content.
Now, I've had some random people like message me and ask me about, some advice about, how to tell their parents about, how do you tell your parents that you want to get married to somebody, a different culture person and this and that. And I just tell them, if you love them, you just got to be honest and, just let them know and, just go from there. But I think the main thing is, we want people to see, there is a lot of interracial people out there. And we want to show, the world, how the two collides with each other and,
I think my biggest mistake ever was keeping our relationship a secret for so long. So I think that's the where you like say, just be honest. Yeah. That's the number one advice I think is the best, because let them be mad. I think it's just like, it's way better that they're mad at you for a month, 2 months, a year than you having to lie to them. And then they find out the truth and they find out that you're lying to them. So it's like double work. Like it's just bad in all directions. Mm-hmm. So no, I love that.
We hid our relationship for 3 years. Yeah. 3. So, I mean, we hid. Yeah. It's not fun.
Yeah, it really isn't. No. Because, I remember saying like, I want to post some pictures of us or, something like that. But, it
was definitely a lot easier for us because my parents weren't online. So I was like, we were still posting stuff. Yeah. I actually created the channel that I have now, just my name, just so like nobody I knew would follow me, and then we would post pictures together. Mm-hmm. And then it started blowing up after that. So everybody started to notice. So I had to tell them at some point.
But as for the social media part, I want to come back to that. So earlier you mentioned you just started creating content for memories. Is that the trajectory you want to continue on? Or like you've mentioned other things, like you said earlier, I think this is so interesting because I think these would do so well. You don't love talking to a camera. Yeah. I think you should do some of that.
I know I should. I really know. But I get on there and I just start like, it's like my words are stumbling on each other and then I just get discouraged and I feel like my voice changes. I'm trying to do that like, social media voice and I get discouraged, but I need to practice on it more.
It sounds silly, but honestly, just repetition and doing it. I mean, like I've posted so many videos that I hate and like, I don't know that anybody would necessarily know that. And you of all people have taught me this because you've been posting on YouTube for so long that you just got to put it out there. And that's one lesson that we've learned talking to another friend that we have. Like he just makes videos. He's like, just do it. Don't even think about it. Who cares what other people think? Do you feel like it's mostly because you don't like it or because people watching will maybe judge you or hate on you?
It's both.
Yeah.
It's both. Yeah.
Yeah. It takes a minute to get over it.
It does. And I think I told you this earlier too, but there are so many videos that I post and I don't feel like a content creator because I don't feel like I'm doing what other people are doing. So I find myself comparing myself to people way too often. And then I hate on myself and then I shut it down. And then I have so many drafts on TikTok, like 4 gigs worth of drafts, which is crazy that I've never posted. Do you feel like you guys compare yourselves to people online or like, is that something you care about?
Sometimes I do. I think I compare. What gets me is like, when your videos have like so many views, but then like you don't have no likes. I feel like people are on there and just watching it and making fun of you and they don't really like it. Like, that's what gets me discouraged.
I definitely feel that. I feel like for you, I feel like you just don't care.
No, he doesn't.
I really don't care.
That's
her
great.
problem is she reads every comment and then if she gets... a lot of her comments, it's not the greatest sometimes, and she gets discouraged about it, and then she's like, she'll go like days without saying, let's make a video, let's not make a video anymore. She won't say nothing. I'm like, so you haven't posted a video in a few days? She's like, yeah, because I'm just tired of, the drama and the bad talking on there. And I'm like, who cares what they say? I say, just do it. I mean, you got majority of them do like it, and the ones that don't, I mean, and the bad thing is, a lot of them, I don't know how to explain it.
They're probably just like a person behind a screen that don't even like.
Yeah, most of them are the ones that aren't. Don't even have a picture of their profile.
Exactly. Yeah.
I think the hardest thing is that sometimes you're like, oh gosh, is what like some part of what they're saying is right. Like this is kind of true. And then I find myself just spiraling into that. But with that, I kind of want to talk about some of the hate that you guys get. First off, before we even go there, I was just watching some of your TikToks and I love that you respond to some of the comments. I love that because I don't do that because I'm like, what? Like, I don't want them to respond back. And like, it makes me nervous looking like if they do respond back to something that I say because it just fuels the fire. Somebody commented something and you're like, well, I guess you don't know what it looks like when two people are in love.
Yeah.
And I love that. Clap back.
That's one thing I try to do is I get a little sarcastic with
sarcastic with people. Then
Yeah.
my brother will jump in there on his TikTok and start saying crap to people in our sections.
Sometimes he does that.
Yeah, we definitely have somebody out there who defends us, and they have like a secret TikTok account where they go in and start like saying some crazy stuff. But it's appreciated. I like it. All right, well, we're on a different couch now. There was a what is it? You guys got a new couch just now
Replacement, yeah.
in the middle of the podcast. Hey, this one's way comfier. So
It
I
really
think,
is.
It's very soft.
It's definitely nice. I like it. This one's better. Now we're not separated by a
I
little
know,
half.
now we're all so
This is better.
close. This is
Good
great.
choice.
Yeah.
Good choice. We're gonna move into rapid fire, the last segment. Okay, Hallie's gonna ask the questions, try and answer as fast as possible, and see what we can do.
All right. Favorite Punjabi food?
Chili chicken.
What about you?
I'm still lost.
It's like us restarting.
Don't you
again.
like bindi? Bindi?
No, you know my favorite.
You like you said garlic naan.
Yeah, garlic naan.
Dessert?
Yeah. No, not really on dessert
No
thing.
dessert.
All right. Favorite American food?
Oh, I like pasta. I like Alfredo.
Okay.
I'm gonna go with some barbecue.
Barbecue. Okay.
All right. What is each other's love language?
Mine would be like quality time.
I love she's a good mom and acts of services.
All right. What's your favorite kind of date night to have?
We ain't had no date.
It's hard to have
One date night.
it's hard to have a date night with 3 kids, but I would say just going out to eat.
Yeah, I think just going out to eat. I mean, honestly, we've gotten so used to having the whole us, 5, us and the kids together that it's just, I mean, we just love having all that. Well, I don't think we've gone anywhere just us two, but I think it would be weird and not, awkward if it wasn't, if our kids wasn't with us.
Yeah, if we do go somewhere, we're constantly like FaceTiming, like, what are you doing? Or how are you?
Yeah, because, I think we went 2 places since we've been together, except what was it?
Since we have a kid.
Since we had kids was the Taylor Swift concert. We flew out to Canada and watched.
Yeah.
And then we went to Keith Urban in North
concert.
Carolina.
So our favorite date night must be a concert.
There you go.
That sounds great.
Look at that. Okay.
So with the kids, what's your favorite activity to do together?
Taking them like putt-putt or a arcade or the trampoline park. We all have fun doing that together.
I wish I could go to Sky
That's what I
Zone
would
right
say.
now.
Oh, yeah.
Guys, when you love trampolines. All right. Instagram or TikTok?
TikTok.
TikTok all the way. Why?
I don't know. People are mean on Instagram.
Okay.
For us
yeah.
personally, it's been a lot more hate. I don't know if it's just, broader people are more on there.
Interesting. Yeah, for us, we like Instagram more because I think it's ours with positive comments on Instagram, negative comments on TikTok. So I guess it just depends on the person.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like for me and us personally, it's been easier to build a community of people there. I don't know. It almost feels a little bit more loyal in a way because I feel like so many people are on TikTok that like anybody can pop up on your For You page. And then I don't know, I get a lot of hate on TikTok. So like anytime I pop up on somebody's For You page without knowing context or following me or being part of my community, they'll like comment hate, right? Mm-hmm. So I feel like that's a big part of it. That's why, I don't know. I love Instagram and the whole story posting and yeah, it's great. What is one tradition from each other's culture you want to keep forever?
For me, it would be like Christmas. That's like my favorite holiday ever.
Yeah.
And so I love that. I think for Hallie, it'd probably be Garba.
Yeah.
Like she loves that.
I would say definitely the food because it even helped me cook a lot better in my American cooking, with American food.
Mm.
For sure. All the spices.
Yeah.
No,
you
girl,
learn so
same.
much more about the spices and so definitely the food. But I mean, I love the holidays and
No, it has to be the food. She was plain Jane when I first met her. I'm talking about nothing, like no.
salt and pepper.
Yeah, just salt and pepper, that's all.
For real. When we went to Subway, she would get turkey and cheese in her little sub sandwich. And I was like,
Yeah.
if I'm paying this much for a sandwich, I'm getting everything that I can put in it.
Yeah, now she does, I think, more than I do with all the different veggies and all that spices she does.
Do you feel like you eat spicier than him?
Yes.
Why
Definitely.
does that
Even
happen?
his mom and dad sometimes.
How does that happen? Because like I can't eat full on spice anymore.
I don't either. I can't do it. She eats more Indian than I do. Let's just
Yeah.
put it that way. I just don't. I don't do spicy and I don't do Indian like that.
But the bad thing is I don't cook any Indian because I know his mom's going to cook it and she's like a wonderful cook. So
Okay.
I know. I feel that way too. Like anytime I do make Indian at home, you'll show your parents and they're like, oh, make that for us. But like, I don't feel like it's up to par for you guys. Like, I can make it for me. It is. It's stressful. Like even when they come over and they're like, oh, make ja. And I'm like, okay, I'll try. It's just even more stressful. Next, Taco Bell order.
Ooh, I like
Taco Bell order?
Yeah. What's your go-to?
a chalupa.
Chicken chalupa, no sour cream.
I gotta have the sour cream.
With a soft taco and a Baja Blast.
Oh, there you go.
You have to have the Baja Blast to just like put the cherry on top.
Yeah.
They have them at
Chicken Crunch Wrap.
I feel like you have to have the Baja Blast to just like put a cherry on top of everything.
Yeah.
Taco Bell is so good. That's one of our favorite spots to go to.
Yeah.
But you gotta have the fire sauce too.
Yeah, fire sauce. You gotta have fire sauce. And then you have to have the cinnamon delights to top it off.
Oh gosh.
Yes, I forgot about those. Classic.
Maybe we should just go to Taco Bell.
Hey, 20 minutes away from. I'm a mom cook.
No, it's funny that you bring up the fire sauce because I was very plain before we got together. And so he introduced me to that, as silly as it sounds. Like, I know it's there, fire sauce, hot sauce, whatever. But he's like, oh, you should really try this. I'm like, okay, how good can it be? Turns out it's actually really good.
Oh, yeah, we buy the bottles.
We buy the big bottles of it.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, next. One thing that the other says the most.
Her, why?
She says why?
She says why.
She says why.
She's curious.
I have to know, yeah.
My kids are saying why all the time.
That's a
Or
phase.
chill. I can't stand the word chill. She says chill all the time.
Like, okay, so his biggest thing is like he'll just make a statement. It's not a question, but it's like he's like, huh? Like, do you hear me? Like he wants me to answer a statement.
He wants to know your opinion.
You understand what I mean?
Yeah,
like
yeah,
it's hot outside today, and if I don't say anything, he's like, did you hear me? It's hot outside. I'm like, yeah, I heard you. It is. Like
So he's trying to start a conversation without a question. She does that all the time. She's like, man, that looks so good. And I don't say anything, like in terms of like food usually. And she's like, that looks like that looks like it tastes good. And I'm like,
he doesn't say anything. And I'm like, okay, just give me your opinion. Are
what do you want me to
interested?
say?
She's like, are you asking me a question or what? I was like,
Yeah. Then ask it.
Yeah, like, do you want me to be like, does this look good to you? Is that what you want me to say?
Yeah, no. I can't answer a question if it's not a question.
So you're curious and you say statements that you want her to give her opinion on.
Yeah.
I think I know the answer to this one, but I'm going to ask it anyways. Coffee or chai?
Coffee.
Okay.
So hot coffee,
Iced coffee.
Both iced
Yeah.
coffee. What's your go-to iced coffee place or order?
Starbucks or
Yeah.
Dunkin' Donut.
I don't really drink a whole lot of coffee, but I like Starbucks.
I like Starbucks pumpkin spice latte, ice, no whipped cream. With the chocolate chip brownie not warmed. That's my favorite.
Hey, at least you
And the
know what
pumpkin
you like.
loaves are good too right now.
The pumpkin loaf is good.
Yeah.
Starbucks during fall, I will say, I was just having this conversation with somebody the other day, and it sounds silly, but Starbucks has their seasonal drinks down.
Yes. I don't really go to Starbucks unless it's the fall because, oh my gosh, their pecan crunch latte.
Yes. Did you try the cortado thing, like the pumpkin? Or
No,
the
I didn't try that one yet.
Oh, so good. It's like
try it.
this big, but it was really good. But I would say Dunkin' is where we just had Dunkin' today. It's
That's
our
me.
go-to.
Yeah,
I like that.
He likes Dunkin'.
Oh, their cold brew, like their caramel cold brew. It's so good. But so, okay, interesting. Starbucks, seasonal pumpkin spice. What's your go-to?
Whipped cream.
Oh, whipped cream,
No
brownie.
whipped cream. No whipped cream.
No whipped cream.
With a
Okay.
brownie. Okay.
Usually I get a blonde vanilla latte, but like seasonal, then I get the pecan crunch or something seasonal. They always have something good.
Classic. All right, last rapid fire. Most memorable moment in your marriage.
Going to New York City because that's where we got engaged to. Like I always wanted to go to New York City. Like I love New York
That's what I
City,
was
but
gonna
I
tell
thought
you.
I did. I loved seeing it on movies.
Because that's what she wanted to do. So I took her to New York and we went on that what is that, Promise Bridge or whatever you call it,
Yeah.
in
Bow
the park,
Bridge or
the Bow
something.
Bridge.
Oh,
And that's where I
my.
asked her. And you talk about getting down on my knees and asking her with all these people around.
And he had somebody filming it. We thought they was just taking I thought they was just taking a picture.
That was the craziest thing I ever done in my life because I'm kind of embarrassed, shy, kind of to do that, but I did do it though.
Man,
That's our
he
favorite
really
place
loves
in the
you then.
world.
Really?
New York
That's
City is the
amazing, yeah.
best city in the world.
I always wanted to move there.
Me too.
That's New York City is like our favorite. That's a goal in our life to be there at some point. It's just so expensive.
Oh yeah, I'm sure.
But it's so beautiful too. So, okay, wait. I gotta see a video. There's a video?
There's a video, ain't it?
We gotta see it somewhere. We can watch
I don't
it.
know. I can't believe I've never posted it. I don't know if I have
Girl,
it.
you should definitely make some content out of that.
People kept walking back and forth, and
Congratulations, guys.
Oh, it's a guy.
It was
who
a
took
guy-
a tour now.
yeah, he was riding us around on like a bicycle tour.
And you asked him?
Yeah.
When did you ask? Like, do you ask him without her noticing?
Yeah, I didn't know.
Yeah, I can't remember when I asked him. I think I was just walking up when he was. We were walking around there. He was showing us different things, and I told him. And I told him if he recorded or so, and he did.
Wow.
It was funny because like I guess he got so nervous he just kept standing there, and the guy was like, I got more of the video like in the beginning. He's like, all right guys.
Well, that would certainly be a super memorable moment, especially in a great place like New York City.
Oh yeah.
That's amazing. Well, that's it. That's the whole thank you guys for being like on the pod. I'm serious. Like this was so fun.
And I thank you
Thanks
guys for
for
having
having
us.
us.
Really.
We talked about a lot of things.
They're the first Indian white couple we've had on besides us.
Isn't that crazy?
So it's like
That's
we're looking in
crazy.
the mirror, we're talking. Oh my gosh, this has been
awesome.
so great, you guys. Thank you so
insane
much.
How much relatability, like how much we relate to you guys. So it's
Yeah.
just so fun to actually see another perspective of a different couple. Everyone else at home, thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. If you have any questions, go to www.halfpastshy.com. And as always, we'll see you next time at Half Past Shy. That's it. Dude, this was so fun.
Oh, what's good?
Dude, this is great. You guys are naturals. You see, you're good at
didn't feel
talking.
like
You
it.
had- this is your intro to making talking videos.
I know I should.
How do you think that went? How'd you feel?
In the beginning, it was a little like
rough,
I was kind of shaking. It was a little. I mean,
Yeah.
but
I definitely opened up halfway for sure.
yeah.
And then the couch happened. But
But it was awesome. I'm glad that you guys came out. Really, that's
Yeah.
a long drive.
I feel like we have to keep
I know.
hanging out somehow.
Yeah.
I know.
feel like we all connect a lot, so we definitely need to stay in contact. And
Oh, 1000%.
I have so
I'd
many
be
once you guys get big, just don't forget us.
Same to you guys.